everyone, a very happy new year and a very warm welcome to the channel. I am Shanti, and in this video we're going to talk about the best books that I happened to read this year in 2022. Now, I tried to read as many genres as possible, but I have to admit that my predominant genre was productivity. So let's start off. The very first book is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Now, this is the book that I made a video on, the very first video on this channel. You can check it out if you're interested. The reason I love this book is it is evergreen. The principles told here are evergreen. And often what happens is when we talk about productivity, we often think that it's just about doing more work in less amount of time, completing more in less amount of time. But it's more than just that. It's about leading an effective life, all right? It's about living to the fullest. It's about enjoying to the fullest. It's about being happy at the moment and being happy to the fullest. So that kind of life is what is possible when you follow the principles in this book. So that is why this is an evergreen book that I feel everyone should read at least once in their life. The second book that I wanted to share with you is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Now, this is a very popular book in the mental wellness genre, and the author himself is very popular because he's not just a psychologist, but he's also a Holocaust survivor. So he has gone through the extremes of human suffering. So when you hear from that kind of person, when he has gone through that kind of suffering, you understand the weight of whatever he's trying to tell. So in the book, he talks about his experiences in the concentration camp, and then he talks about a therapy model that he has designed called logotherapy. So this is a book that you have to watch out for. I believe it's a must read when you are looking to read a mental wellness book. Now, the third book is Wherever You Go, There You Are. So this is a book about mindfulness, about being in the present. Now, I have been a fan of meditation for a few years, and I have myself seen the benefits that meditation, daily meditation, can give you in your life. So when you read this book, it's sort of like all of the advantages that you can see with meditation and all of the stillness that you can achieve, Sometimes what happens is you just keep running and running and running. It feels difficult to just stop and look around. Now, meditation is something that will help you do that, help you take in the entirety of your surroundings. So this book, when you're reading this book, it feels like the meditation. It feels like the magic of meditation is being repeated when you read this book. So it's a good book to watch out for if you are looking to develop a meditation practice, a daily meditation practice. Now, the fourth book is Sapiens. Now, I really didn't expect this book to be that good, but it really surprised me because I have this notion that if a book is too popular, then it's not really that good. But this book is not like that. There are some books like that, but this book is not like that. It really lives up to its hype. It's very, very interesting. It's not boring at any point of time. And I think the speciality of the book is that the author has taken complex ideas which are difficult for the general public to understand, and he has explained them very easily and simply. So that is the beauty of this book, and I feel like this is sort of a must read for anyone who's looking to, understand the world's view of human beings, of how we are going ahead, what was our history and everything. I'll probably make a separate video on this book. In fact, this is a video that I've been trying to make for a very long time. I could never come to doing that actually, but hopefully soon because there's just so much to talk about this book. Now, the fifth book is Here is New York. Now, this book is sort of an ode to the city that is New York. And it falls under the romanticism genre. It talks about the magic of New York. But the reason that I love this book is not because of the topic that is New York, but because of the attachment that I had to a particular place. I personally had towards a particular place. So that place is Delhi. I have moved to Delhi a few years ago. And the sort of attachment, the sort of homeliness that I feel towards Delhi as an outsider is something that I was able to resonate with as I was listening to this book, Here is New York. So if you too are a fan of any particular city that you have ever lived in or you are still living in, then this is a book that you can read and try to resonate it with the ideas of your particular city. And the sixth book is A Mind of Her Own. Now, this is a fiction, and it's actually a fictionalized version of true people, real people, Madame Curie and her husband, the love story between both of them. And it's an interesting read. about a woman in science, her love for science, and what are the things that she has to go through as a woman in science and the love life of such a kind of a person. I probably liked it because I am a science student who has heard a lot about the Curies, and it sort of felt interesting to see the feelings that they must have gone through, even though they are not real, they are not exactly real, but it's really interesting to see a perspective as to how this might have happened. Now, the seventh book is another very popular book, Atomic Habits. So, there are a lot of popular books that I read this year, and similarly, Atomic Habits was also a book that I didn't really expect it to be good, but again, it lived up to its hype. It's a really good book, and I feel that it is the kind of ultimate productivity book that you can read in terms of implementation. So there is a lot of theory you can read, like Seven Habits of Highly Effective People is sort of more theoretical. You understand the philosophies, you try to internalize the philosophies. But Atomic Habits, this book, is sort of a practical guide. You can read this book and you can immediately start implementing whatever he is telling you. So in that sense, this is a truly unique book, even though the philosophies that he has talked about is repeated in a lot of other books. This book, I believe, is still one of the main books that you can use in order to start implementing good habits in your life. Now, the eighth and the final book is How to Train Your Mind. Now, this book is about meditation, but not in terms of mental wellness, rather in terms of productivity. So the author talks about how you can actually improve your productivity if you are someone who is doing meditation on a daily basis. Now, this was a rather interesting concept because we do hear a lot about meditation, but to hear about it in terms of work, that was something that was very novel to me. And I saw the results for myself. As I kept meditating, I became more efficient at my work. So that's how I became a fan of this book. So you should check this book out as well if you are interested in working towards your productivity. So that is the list of the best books that I read this year, and I hope that you were able to find at least a couple of titles which piqued your interest and which you intend to read as the year goes by. That is all for today's video. Thank you for hanging out until now, and if you did like the video, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe.